right. Let's hope this is all working out. Awesome. So quickly on live, hope you guys are doing well. Patrick J. Hilaire here. For the ones that don't know me, I am your teacher, real estate investor, and coach for real estate investing. And yeah, today we'll be talking about how you can do and use the BRRRR strategy to essentially be able to do real estate using none of your own money. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for a couple people to join in. I am also on Instagram Live here, while also being on Facebook Live. So welcome, Rahul is there, Tap 7PU7 is there, Ilya is there, welcome. Hope you guys are all having an awesome day. And yeah, we're gonna quickly jump in, maybe give it a couple minutes for people to get in here. Manjinder is here, welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Jaspreet, welcome to the stream. Yeah, kind of gonna jump in right away. So thanks for joining me. And in today's Facebook Live / YouTube Live, I'm gonna look at both cameras here just so I know who I'm talking to. Here we'll be talking about the BRRRR strategy. So just to kind of recap, what is the BRRRR strategy? The BRRRR strategy stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and then repeat. Okay. Now, what this means is that you're buying properties underneath market value, and then we're going to renovate that property to get it to about 70 to 80% of the market value, preferably under 80%, or the loan to value that we'd get from our mortgage broker or our financial institution. Then we're going to rent that out to produce some cash flow, and then refinance, preferably and hopefully take all the money from our down payment and our renovation money so that we can reuse those funds. Okay, so couple tips on how you can actually do this for free, quote unquote, in the sense that we're not going to be using our own money. Okay, how do you do this? Is you got to get really good at raising capital. And a mistake that I used to make was that I would just raise capital when I had deals. Okay, so something that could help you guys out is to get into the mindset that you want to almost always be raising capital, similar to how, as real estate investors, we're always analyzing deals, even if we may or may not be buying. Right now, I think it's actually an awesome time to buy. We just acquired a house in Scotia Heights about, I believe, a week ago, and then by next week, we're actually going to be acquiring another home. It's actually a duplex, so it'll be my first multifamily, I guess. So 2 units on that one. And yeah, still deals out there. And actually, I really like how the market looks right now in the sense that there are a ton of deals. But jumping in to a big, let's say, obstacle that I see a lot of new real estate investors deal with is raising capital. Okay, and today I want to show you guys some of the tools that I use for raising capital. And the reason I'm doing that is just because, hey, I want to help you guys raise some money and do deals using none of your own money. Okay, and that is going to be one of the most powerful aspects of the BRRRR strategy, just because, like for me, I've only really used my own money on my first deal, which was my house hack. So I still house hack to this day. And every deal after that, I just raise the funds and keep reusing those funds to get more and more rental properties. Okay. So when it comes to raising capital, first thing we want to do is realize that metrics matter. And what this means is that we need to be tracking our key performance indicators, or KPIs. Okay. Now, when I first started, a lot of my KPIs were really just tracked on paper. Okay. Now I use a CRM. But basically, we want to be tracking these metrics. We want to know what's important in the sense that, okay, how many leads are we getting a week? Okay. How many of those leads can we convert into a first appointment? And then from that first appointment, how many of those appointments can we convert into a second appointment where we will essentially be closing those people as they raise money? Okay. Now, first part is tracking those leads. Next is tracking how many of those leads become appointments. And then finally, we want to track how many closes we have. After you do this enough times, then you'll start looking at your close rate. Okay, so I actually hired coaches for sales and marketing about 6 weeks ago, and I basically started realizing and saw that my close rates were pretty much not that great. Like I was probably under a 10% close rate. It was close to like 6.5%, 6.7%, which is not that great at all, right? I didn't really have the systems in place. And what I want to share with you guys is 2 tools that I used to actually improve those systems. And I was able to increase my close rates from 6.5 to 6.7%, all the way to about, now we're at about a 27 to a 22.7% close rate. Okay, so that's a big improvement, and all it really took was having the right systems in place, having the right tools, and that's what I'm going to share with you right now. So before, a big mistake I was making was doing all my capital raising meetings and my investor meetings in person. Okay, now I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's not the largest city, but even getting around different places, I could drive 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back, have maybe a 30-minute appointment. So that's a 30-minute appointment is actually taking me an hour. Okay? Time is money, and I want to be efficient with that. So the first tool that I use that's really going to drastically improve your money raising capabilities. Welcome Marlou, welcome Henry. We got Haley in there. Welcome join to the chat. But that tool that I use that is very, very important now is going to be Zoom. Okay? Zoom is a great way to do these investor calls, especially the first call where we're just diagnosing, trying to get to know our money partners a little bit better. Okay, these are our prospects, and by using Zoom, essentially now we can kind of reduce that delay of driving to the meeting, sitting down at the meeting, and then driving back home. Instead, for someone like me, I work from my home office here, and I could do and fit way more meetings on Zoom than I can by physically meeting these people. Now, sometimes I will meet for a second appointment, especially if they're ready to close, they're ready to pass a check to be my money partner. But in that case, we've already gone through a little bit of that first steps of, okay, meeting those money partners, getting to know them a little bit, and diagnosing, okay, where are they at? How much are they comfortable investing with us and becoming part of our money partners or joint ventures? But that first call, I'll always do it on Zoom. Okay. Sometimes I'll meet in person, mostly if it's just convenient for them, but I do try to do it on Zoom just because it improves the velocity of my appointments. Okay. The more people I can sit down with, the more I can get leads, more appointments, and then of course more money can be closed for your real estate deals. That's the first tool. The second tool that I think is very, very important when you're raising capital for your own real estate deals with the intention of not having to do and use any of your own funds is going to be using what's called Calendly. Okay, Calendly is a booking app, and I think it's super awesome just because now I don't have to physically go on like my agenda app, and I don't have to sit there and put in all the information. Instead, I can set up a questionnaire, I can set up a quick link, and if someone wants to sit down with me and have that money partner meeting, all they got to do is click on the link, they fill out the questionnaire, it gives me a better idea, and we can better guide the appointment because now it's a lot more efficient. I have some information in there already, and I can already tell, okay, is this person going to be a good money partner? Are they kind of ready to jump in? Or maybe I have to coach them a little bit of, okay, how do we actually do this? So Zoom is an awesome tool for setting up those appointments just because now I don't have to physically do these appointments, and instead I can meet with my money partners online and reduce that resistance, reduce that friction of sitting down with a money partner or potential money partner and then doing that call, doing that interview and diagnosing where they're at. Second tool is essentially using Calendly. Okay, now Calendly is great just because it allows you to send that link, you can book these appointments, and now it again makes it very smooth. In someone contacts you, you get the lead, you book the appointment, you send them the Calendly link, they answer some questions, and now you know exactly what steps to take once you're in the appointment. Maybe you're asking some qualifying questions in there. Okay? So those are a couple tools that I use, and really the biggest mistake that I was making in the past was essentially I wasn't tracking my metrics. Okay? Yes, I was sitting down with investors basically on a weekly, if not a daily basis, and trying to meet with new money partners. However, I was just tracking that on paper, okay? Which is a start. It's something, but it wasn't as accurate as, say, possibly using your own CRM, or at least have these systems in place where you can look on Zoom and just quickly look back, okay, how many appointments did I do in the past week? You can kind of reflect on that. You can even record Zoom if you intend to pay for that subscription. And same with Calendly. You can see how many bookings were made, how many people actually showed up, and now you can start figuring out, okay, how many leads did I get? How many first appointments? How many second appointments? How many closes? So I hope that offers some help to you guys. Again, the BRRRR strategy is an awesome strategy, especially if you can use none of your own money, which is very possible as long as you get really good at raising capital. The last thing I kind of want to leave you guys is that, yes, this is a system to how to raise capital, how to find money partners. However, a big part of capital raising is also going to be your mindset. So one thing I want to kind of leave you guys with is that you want to cultivate an abundance mindset. Okay? Even if you get rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, as long as you're tracking this, you're looking at ways to improve, it's very possible for you to see your blind spots, get a little bit better, and then always remember that, hey, not everyone is able to raise money. Not everyone is actually putting themselves out there to kind of ask for those money partners. And even real estate investors, you'd be very surprised. A lot of real estate investors, even if they're experienced, find this concept of raising money for their deals to be something that's a little bit more foreign. Okay? So a mindset shift that I've had to use is that even after I get rejected on a money call or it doesn't go as well, I find one thing that I think is funny or awesome about that call, something I can make like, hey, it's a cool story. Maybe there's a funny joke that was made, or I just had a good time. And then I'm also going to end the call with reframing my own mind and telling to myself, hey, who has the confidence and ability to actually put themselves out there and raise capital? Who's doing that, right? And it's just reinforcing this idea that, hey, you're doing something that is not easy, not everyone can do it, and it does take a little bit of skill. Bing bong to Marcus, welcome. And we got a question from Ilya. What CRM do you use? I use a CRM called Group Track. I've heard also HubSpot is good as well. But basically I use Group Track. Let me just double check. That's the actual name. Yeah, Group Track CRM. And it's awesome because I basically am able to connect that to Facebook and Instagram and basically able to automate a lot of the, let's say, metrics, tracking leads, tracking appointments, and seeing how many closes we get. So I hope that offers you guys some value. If you are interested, there's a link in my bio, or you can send me a message. We can sit down and do a free real estate strategy session if you want to learn more about becoming a professional real estate investor. Now, if you are interested in investing and becoming a money partner, send me a DM. We can also sit down and talk about that. So hope that offers some value. Go out there, use Zoom, use Calendly, and make sure you're tracking your metrics. And don't forget that even if it gets difficult to raise capital every now and then, it's not easy. And just think about who's doing this. Who has the guts to go out into the world and try to raise capital? So hope you guys have an awesome day. Quick little Instagram live, quick little Facebook live. Take care. Patrick J. Hilaire here, your teacher, real estate investor, and real estate investing coach. Peace out.